Okay, so it is November 10th. It is 4:44 p.m. It's a beautiful 42 degrees out here in Bradford, Vermont. And we've already started this little test run to Albany, New York, to Electrify America charger there at a super Walmart to test to see how that goes, because that's like one of our starting points on our end of the year trip. So we started. I forgot to record at the very beginning, but we started with 174 average mile range. I believe the max was 200. I don't really remember what the minimum was, honestly. But we're now at max 165, 140 average, and 114 minimum. The next stop that I have to go to is 98 miles away. I could probably do it, but I'm just going to charge for a few minutes here, right at this DC fast charging EVgo at Hannaford's, and we'll just squeeze a few kilowatts into it, and then be on our way. And I have it set up so that we just are going to numerous stops, whether we actually need to or not, just to determine once we get there and evaluate what the range is like, to determine if we really need to charge or not. Just for comfort's sake, I guess. But all right, so that's it. We're just gonna go charge a little bit and then be on our way. Okay, so we are at our next spot, and it is still actually 42 degrees. It's 7:21, and we're at another EVgo station. Our next stop after this is 25 miles away. We have a minimum of 50. Average of 62. I really don't need to charge, I don't think, but just for the sake of comfort, I guess I'm gonna charge very, very little, and just see I'll do the numbers after the fact, when I get to the next stop, to see if I really actually needed to or not, and if I didn't, then come when I actually do this trip for real, I will know if I actually have to. So yeah, all right, we're just gonna go do that. Okay, so we are still at this same EVgo we were just at. It is 7:39, still 42 degrees. Yeah, that actually that came back. The StabiliTrack message. I was wondering when it would come back, because the part hasn't actually been swapped out yet. So it was funny that it just disappeared for a while and now it's back. But it's all right. And so, interestingly enough, the ABS light is not on, like it was along with the other light. But anyway, that's fine. So we just charged for about 14 minutes or so. Got a little more juice. It was minimum 50 before. Now it's at 72, average 88. So we got plenty to get there. It's only 25 miles away. We're going to do a quick bathroom break out of Mickey D's, about 3 minutes from here. And yeah, and then on to the next. All right, so now it is 8:28, and it's 43 degrees, and we are at our next stop. Honestly, I don't even think we really need to charge here, but again, wow, if my phone would actually focus. There we go. Minimum 56. The next stop, which is the final stop, the Walmart in Albany, is 42 miles away. So it's kind of close, I guess. So we'll charge here for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, or not actually. I don't know if you can. No, you can't definitely see that. It says it's at 0, and it's not charging. Well, cool. All right, I'm gonna go look at that and try to figure that out, because that's not right. So. Yeah, I'll keep you posted. All right, so that was, I guess, my fault. It's literally just a minute after. It's probably 8:40 or so. I don't know. 8:41, but
31.
8:31. Perfect. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. So it was not actually charging, but it just it was because it came up with a message that said that the car needed to be off before it could start charging. So I guess the communication aspect of it between the charger and the car hadn't fully established by the time I had turned the car on. So yeah, but okay, we're good now though. It's fine. All right, so it is 8:42, 43 degrees. We are at the second to the last place, right before we get to the Albany, New York, Electrify America charging stop, which is our final destination. And we charged here for 10 minutes. We are now up to a minimum of 72. We only have 42 miles to go, so that'll leave us with a nice, sweet 30 miles or so, which would be a good place to, go get a lot of juice from that Electrify America charger. So yeah, we're just gonna go do that now, and we'll be there. Okay, so we made it. We are at the Walmart in Albany, and these are the Electrify America pumps. Awesome. Okay, and we actually, well, it just was at 47 a second ago, but the car's still running, so the heat's on and everything. But it's at 46. We had 72 when we left the last place, and it was 42 miles. I figured we'd get here with 30, so we got here with 46, so that's awesome. That's more than I thought, so we definitely got some regen in there. So, all right, it is 9:46, and it's 45 degrees. I am taking my coat off, and we're going to start charging on this bad boy and see what it can pull. Alright, so we just finished up charging at the Electrify America at the Walmart in Albany. It is 11:14, 45 degrees, and we have an average of 163, minimum 133, and max 236. So that has definitely improved because the average mile per kilowatt an hour has also increased since we first started the trip. So that's where that's reflecting that. And yeah, we're just gonna now go back home, and I'm not really gonna do any of the stops on the way back home. They're just gonna be the same ones. So that's all right. So I'll probably just have like a recap of everything in the end, though, like how much everything totaled in cost and what needed to be done, what didn't really need to be done, and go from there. All right, perfect. Okay, so here we are. We made it back home. Now it's the 11th of November, 4:16 a.m. Happy birthday to me. It's 33 degrees. We are expecting a storm the next couple days, today and tomorrow, into Monday and Tuesday. Good 4 to 8 inches. So we just beat that coming in. There was a little bit of snow spitting and whatnot, but it's not doing a whole lot right now. But so we did a total of 133.1 kilowatts used in 410 miles. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, there we go. And so it almost matches on here as well, but I actually reset the trip a little later on this, so it's a hair off, but average of 3.1 miles per kilowatt. We have still a range of minimum 22, average 27, max 33, and once again all the lights are off again as far as the StabiliTrak and the ABS and all that stuff. They did come on and off throughout this whole trip. It was funny because it just was sporadic. But as far as the total numbers, I'll figure all that out, and I'll do another little recap later after I get some sleep, and then I'll probably just do it all later today on the 11th, and it wasn't horrible by any stretch. I mean, like, we did pretty much end up on the way down charging at all the places, but very minimal, like 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. And then when we got to the Electrify America, we We let that charge for a little over an hour, and I think it went from like 27% to like 90%, which was, definitely substantial, and that was good because at that point it wasn't really, doing a whole lot. It was like pulling, I think, like 14 kilowatts, so that was meh, not really worth it. And on the way back, we didn't have to hit all the. We didn't have to charge at all the chargers. I did stop at all of the ones that we essentially just reversed the route, and so we hit everything again, but we didn't have to actually charge at everything again, which was nice, and that was in part just due to the fact that the Electrify America was able to give us 90% of a charge, so the other ones that were next in line, we didn't need to actually charge at. So that was cool. I think we were able to skip 2 of them. Yeah, I think so. But yeah. So I'll figure out all the numbers, and then we'll go from there, and I'll report all that. So we can figure out how much it all costs, in the end. And I mean, I'm willing to bet that it was probably close to what it would have been, like, in my regular gas car. But, at the same time, I think this was a more enjoyable experience, because I really, really enjoy the whole just being able to take time, to charge, because in past years when I've done trips, it's just, you go to the gas station, boom, you're back in the car within like 5 minutes, and you got no downtime, I mean, this way, you can just charge, and you find your charging points at places typically that you can do things, or that you can walk to, while your car is charging, so I mean, you just can't like fill up at a gas station and then just be like, I'm just gonna leave my car right here at the pump and go walk somewhere. I mean, you can't do that. You need to repark your car, and a lot of the times, you can't just park it at the gas station or a convenience store / whatever it is, because they those spots are for paying customers, and yeah, you got gas, but once you get your gas, if you're not going to get anything else, they want you out of there, so, but I mean, things like Walmarts and just other places, even other gas stations that have charging units, I mean, you can just park there and let it do its thing and just browse and go other places, and I think that's so much better. You get to stretch your legs, you just get to not feel so cooped up all the time in the car. There's that downtime, and also you can catch some Z's. I mean, if you're gonna be like traveling like really late, like we were, it's nice just to be able to, when I end up doing like the big Florida trip, I mean, it's gonna be great because there's gonna be those times where I'm gonna be sitting at an Electrify America, and it's like, well, this is gonna charge for like an hour, so I'll just doze off, set a timer, to wake me up, and that'll be that, I mean, it's great. I love it, and so I, even if it is, close to the amount, which we'll see, but I'll have all that later today. All right, so awesome. Everything went well. No issues with the car. I mean, yeah, the service things kept coming on and whatnot, but that was bound to happen. I figured that would anyway. So that has no hindrance or anything to do with the trip, really. That just was gonna happen. So, all right, perfect. I'm gonna go get some sleep and then crunch those numbers and have a final verdict on everything. All right. Well, until next time, I guess. Keep charging. All right, everyone. I am back with the final numbers for my trip that I did yesterday and into early this morning, to the Walmart in Albany, New York, to check out the Electrify America chargers they have there. And so So here are the numbers. On the way down, we had 4 stops total, including the Walmart itself. Um, the other 3 were EVgo stations, and I ended up charging at everything on the way down. But the EVgo stations, they averaged around like 15 minutes each, and so that really wasn't horrible. It was just, if anything, just like a comfort of just being able to just hop from one to the next and be like, yeah, just a little here, a little there, that'll be fine. Um, the Electrify America was the last one for the trip. So when we just got there, we just charged pretty much up to like 90%, and then after that went back home. On the way back, I only charged at 2 of the 3 EVgo stations because essentially I just reversed the route, so I would still hit all the other places on my way back and just evaluate at that point if I needed to charge or not. 2 out of 3 of them I charged. One I didn't need to, so I just got to it and said no, I'm good, and then just jumped to the next one. The totals for everything, the total cost for the whole thing, round trip charging wise, was right around $40, $39.69. The total kilowatts that I pumped into the Bolt was 83.17, and the total charging time was 2.5 hours. Breaking it down further, the whole chunk of time I charged for the EVgo stations was 73 minutes and 39 seconds, so an hour and 14 minutes, right around there. The kilowatts I got from the EVgo's was 43.38, and the cost for the EVgo's was $26.83. The total time spent at the Electrify America was 79 minutes 24 seconds, so hour and 19 minutes, hour and 19 and a half. The kilowatts got from that was 39.79, and the cost for that was $12.86. So that's crazy. I will say that I also did not have an EVgo plan. I did have the Electrify America plan, so it cost less that way. And if I had the EVgo plan, it would have cost less as well. But I didn't have it. So I mean that it kind of taints the results in that, because I had the plan for one and not the plan for the other. So it definitely would have been less at the EVgo's if I had the plan, but I didn't bother to do that. So yeah, I mean that's the way it went, and every charger worked just fine. Didn't have any issues, and didn't have to wait for anyone. And all the EVgo stations that I went to, it was just one charger. So it could have very well been that someone might have been there using it, and it's not like there was another one to use. No DC fast chargers at those stations, so I kind of feel I lucked out, but I also feel that, like, just given the time of the day and my area, that it probably might have just been like that to begin with. I'll know again when I do this whole trip, like the whole thing in December. Yeah, I mean, it was smooth sailing. When we got to every one of them, didn't have to wait for anything and just got right in there, charged, just did our thing and on to the next. So it all worked well. I guess that's it. I don't think I really had anything else I wanted to touch upon. If anyone has any questions about anything, or definitely feel free to ask, and I'll do whatever I can to answer them to the best of my ability. But it was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to do the whole thing to Florida and back at the end of the year. And I'll definitely try to document that as well. All the stops I make, and just, yeah, do all that. I probably won't do like the return documentation on my way back, because it'll be kind of redundant. It'll just be like all the same places again and whatnot. And so yeah, but that's it. And I guess until next time, keep charging.